Welcome friends, welcome Investaholics. This is ETF Investing Australia, the weekly overview show where we look at the happenings and the going-ons for the week of the 7th to the 11th of October 2019. As always, we're focusing on exchange traded funds traded on the Australian Stock Exchange. G'day Valueholics, my name is Scott. My mission is to give you the tools, the knowledge and the confidence to take control of your own personal finances. I want to crack your financial sky. I want these presentations to be fun and I also want to make you guys some money. So hang around, enjoy, give us a like, subscribe if you guys want to, but hang around to the end. These prezos are quite informational. Okay, let's dive on into it. Look at the ASX ETF Top Performers. Top performing ETFs by 1 week total return. Number one slot here we have the BetaShares FTSE 100 ETF. The code is F100. Saw an increase in the share price of 4%. Followed up closely by the BetaShares Crude Oil Index ETF. Currency hedged OOO is the code, up 3.7%. I like that one, OOO. ETFs, Euro Stocks Top 50 ETF, ESTX was up 3.6%. Fourth position here, we're looking at the BetaShares Europe ETF Hedge, HEUR, rounding at the top 5, BetaShares Gear Australia Equity Fund Gear up 3.1%. Tipping everyone can see the trend there in the top 5. Looking at 3 different ETFs, all up from Europe. Quite possibly because they think Brexit's going to get done. F100 is the BetaShares FTSE 100 ETF. The index is designed to track the performance of the 100 largest UK companies by market cap. Obviously that one's traded, stocks traded in London. That one has a market capitalization of roughly $94 million. Okay, let's hop over and have a look at the ETF by 12-month total return. Number one position, it's been sitting there for quite a while, is the BetaShares Australia Equity Fund. That one's geared. The code is Gear. That one's up 50.1%, followed up closely by BetaShares Geared US Equity Fund. Currency hedge GGUS is the code for that one, up 43%. Followed up closely there by the ETF Securities Physical Palladium ETF. The code is ETPMPD. That one is up 38.9% for the year. Hot on its heels, number 4th position here, we've got the VanEck Vectors of China New Economy ETF, CNEWS the code. That one is up 36.7%. Rounding out our top 5 is the AMP Capital Global's Infrastructure Securities Fund. GLIN is the code. That one is up 33.9%. Pretty encouraging for global infrastructure anyway. Okay, let's have a look at the ASX ETF Money Flow, so where the money is moving to. Our top ETFs by 1 week money flows. Number 1 position here, we're looking at the iShares S&P ASX 200 Fund IOZs. That one's been quite popular recent times. Quite a massive inflow, I suppose, when you look at it compared to everything else. You got $105.3 million. That's massive. Second position here, we're looking at the iShares Core Composite Bond ETF, IAF, as a code. That one's a popular one in the market in general as well. Third position there, we're looking at the BetaShares Australia Sustainability Leaders ETF, FAIR is the code. Quite a few people looking at sustainable investments. ETF Securities Physical Gold, GOLD is the code. That is up 10.3%. So people looking to put their money in the so-called safe haven of gold. That one's popular there as well. BetaShares Active Australia Hybrid Fund, HBRD's code. That one saw $9.8 million of inflows. Jumping across now to the top ETFs by year-to-date inflows of cash. No surprise here. BetaShares Australia High Interest Cash ETF AAA is the code. $576.6 million inflow. Vanguard Australia Property Shares Index VAS is the code. Seen inflows of $574.8 million. Third positions iShares S&P ASX 200 Fund IOZ. All of that's come last week. Vanguard Australia Fixed Interest Index VAF, that one's seen inflows of $417.6 million. Rounding out the top 5, Vanguard MSCI Index International Series VGS, that one's seen inflows of $354.9 million. So just a quick overview on IOZ. It's probably worthy, I think, because there's quite a lot of inflows this week. So IOZ, as mentioned, is the iShares Core S&P ASX 200 ETF. The index tracks the performance of the top 200 largest companies listed on the Australian Stock Exchange. Market cap of IOZ now is $1.6 billion. A reasonably healthy dividend yield of 4.89%. Morningstar gives IOZ a rating of bronze, which is 3 out of 5 stars. So, a highly rated fund, and there's a lot of money going into that one as well. Let's have a look at the ASX ETF Trading Volumes. Top ETFs by 1 week average daily turnover. No coincidence, I should say, that we see the number 1 position here is the iShares S&P ASX 200 ETF. IOZ with $25.9 million of 1 week average daily turnover, because we saw over $100 million come into that ETF. Followed up closely by the Vanguard Australia Shares Index ETF VAS, so we saw $20.9 million of 1 week average daily turnover. State Street Spider S&P ASX 200 Fund STW. 1 week average daily turnover of $14.1 million. BetaShares Australia High Interest Cash ETF AAA, we saw a 1 week average daily turnover of $10 million. Rounding out our top 5, we're looking at the Vanguard Australia Property Securities Index VAP, 1 week average daily turnover of $7.6 million. Skipping over now to the top ETFs by year-to-date average daily turnover. State Street Spider S&P ASX 200 Fund STW is the code. We saw year-to-date average daily turnover of $16.5 million. Very healthy. BetaShares Australia High Interest Cash ETF AAA, we see year-to-date average daily turnover of $14.5 million. Quite a popular ETF. Vanguard Australia Share Index ETF VAS, $13.3 million. Year-to-date average daily turnover. Number 4 position here, we're looking at iShares Core S&P 500. IVV is the code. $7.3 million year-to-date average daily turnover for that one. Rounding out our top 5 is the mighty BetaShares Australia 200 ETF. A2 is the code. We're looking at a $7.3 million year-to-date average daily turnover. Quite healthy. Okay, let's cast our eye over the weekly highlights quickly here. We saw European Asian stocks rally last week on optimism regarding US, China and Brexit. As I mentioned before, we saw quite a lot of Europe-based type ETFs. So, BetaShares F100 and also ESTX and HEUR and UBE. China New and IKA were the top performing Asian equity funds. Gold fell below $1,049 an ounce. ETFs, physical gold, fell 1.8% as well. We saw GDX, MNRS fall as well, so sort of roughly 3%. Platinum, palladium funds added 1.2 to 1.8%. Oil was up a bit last week, looking at a 3.7% gain for the week. This is the part I like. So total flows into domestically domiciled ETFs were $282 million, which well outweighed the outflows, which totaled $43 million. IOZ dominated inflows, as we've already touched on, with $105 million. That's massive for one ETF. God knows why that one's been picked, but people are piling into that. Still, STW saw $25 million of outflows, which my guess is that they're coming out of STW and going into IOZ. We should not be trading ETFs, but I think that might be what is happening here. So for whatever reason, people are cycling out of one into another. Gold saw $10 million inflows, while the remaining flows were spread between a mix of equities and fixed income. As we sort of touched on, VAF and VIF, they had some reasonable inflows. So IOZ was the most traded fund last week, followed by other broad-based domestic funds. VAS, STW, VAP and VHY saw above average trading volumes. VAP, VHY, quite good little funds there as well. Always worth considering. Just a quick reminder, as always, we're not endorsing anything here. This is for education purposes only. If you are thinking about looking at any of these ETFs further, you should be doing your own research, because I don't know your personal financial circumstances, and you may need some additional advice before you purchase anything here. But as always with all these things, it's education more than anything. Hey, thanks for taking the time and sticking around to the end of the video. I enjoy producing these videos for you guys. I actually learn a lot of information myself. It keeps me up to date with what's happening in the market. If you like what I'm doing, please give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe, also jingle the bell. That'll let you know when the next video is coming. Greatly appreciate your time once again. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Ciao.